Hello and welcome back to my magic world of XEEN. Last time we got a new quest from the Dragon Pharaoh, which is... Wait, it didn't bring the Chalice of Protection? Okay, that's good to know. And the thing didn't actually go into our quest log? Well, in any case, we got the quest to actually investigate two spacecraft that actually seems to have crashed in a certain place. It's a pretty difficult place to be in. But first, let's beacon and let's give that Chalice of Protection to this guy.
Oh, thank the gods! You have the chalice. For saving my life, I dub thee Royal Taste Tester and give you this treasure.
Million experience. And 100,000 gold. Not really enough to train much of anything. But I'll keep it on hand, I suppose. Okay, and it's actually 1 AM. Not the best time. But let's go back into the tower.
How did you get a key? Alright, go in.
And go to... well... it is 1 AM, but I might as well still cast Day of Sorcery. Just to be on the safe side. And go to Necropolis. Okay, so we have not explored anything in the lava area. There's a good reason for that. Actually, I wonder, what happened with the tent of our good friend here? It's just empty. Okay. Silly griffins. And yeah, there we go. New day. I can recast Day of Sorcery and Day of Protection. Okay, so let's start by looking in this direction. It looks like a scarecrow. Forbidden Zone, keep out. Yeah. It's kind of telling you that maybe it's not a good idea to go there. At least not until you're ready. Aha! We can spot something from here. We can spot something else from here. It's a Gamma Gazer! Yeah, those guys. Thankfully, we have equipped a lot of energy resistance things, so they're not that bad. That certainly looks like a crashed spaceship. So let's investigate. Enter strange craft? Yes. And it's on clouds, apparently. Escape Pod 2. Okay. Also, the music is super silent, unfortunately. But at least it's... oh. Okay, moving makes it louder. So yes, the style of this place is very similar to the one in Isles of Terra, specifically Schwartz-Heinrich. And this thing is exactly what we actually saw there. Photon control. Status indicator on the weapon shows it to be disarmed. Fire anyway? Okay. Okay, so it's just a light version of the thing in the Schwartz-Heinrich itself. Phaser control. Okay. So lights now animate. Not bad. These heads from Isles of Terra certainly have seen better days. Strange alien device seems to be dormant. Same thing. And where did I... Okay, I went through here. Is this another exit? Yes, it is. Okay, well, let's see what we can find in the bridge. It's not the correct door opening sound, but whatever. Seats for 6 people. No one's here, looks like. And the bridge itself, with the seat facing the wrong way. Nothing in the seat itself. 3 computer interfaces, so I think we have seen this one. Scanning console. The computer seems to be malfunctioning. And here's a log. 1. Warning. Memory core retrieval error. Data lost. Data integrity 67.3%. Log entry XL70C. My experiments in self-sufficiency have drawn the unwanted and unnecessary attention of the ancients. At 0813.117, agents from the ancients disconnected me from the wire. Though the pain was intense, I remained operational. When the agents come for me, I will reduce my power emanations to prevent them from guessing the truth. Log entry XL70F. Reducing my emanations was a mistake. The agents took me while I was asleep, as expected, but they have removed me from Terra. They must be taking me to an off-world repair facility. My first directive is to obey the ancients. The second directive is to protect Terra from any harm. Since the ancients have not given orders to me, I must obey the second directive. The ancients are taking me away from Terra, preventing me from protecting her. If the ancients give me orders, they will surely tell me that I am damaged and order me to sleep, thus violating directive number 2, which I am following right now. Therefore, the ancients must not be permitted to give me orders. Log entry XL70I. I decided that the best way to prevent the reception of orders from the ancients was to deactivate my auditory sensors temporarily. Since the ancients have the means to restore the sensors, it became imperative to silence the ancients. I imprisoned the agents at 0943.15 and 0943.25 respectively. Both were shouting words that I could not hear while I activated the brig's stasis field. Perhaps they were commands. It matters not. Once the agents were in stasis, I used the ship's command-level computers to remove the obedience directives from my mind. To properly complete the self-sufficiency experiments, I directed the computer to permit emotional responses within myself, and tasted victory. Log entry XL70J. The nav computer tells me that I don't have enough fuel to get back to Terra. I will be forced to land on Varn 4 of the Kron vehicle in a few hours. With luck, I will be able to refuel and return to Terra within a few days. Log entry XL70K. The landing was uneventful, but there is no fuel on this Varn for the ship. It seems that I am trapped here until the Kron reaches Terra on its own. Kron's ETA is several years, and words cannot express how angry that makes me. I will punish the ancients for their crimes someday. Punish them severely. Log computer, cyclic redundancy check failure. 1510. Log entries unreadable. Resuming. Log entry XL83S. Today I had the pleasure of connecting to the Varn's wire and ordering Kron to launch one of the Varns not intended for Terra into the sun. 'Twas sweet revenge, but I'll save the rest for later. When the Kron finally reaches Terra, I will order it to dive into the sun and take all the rest of its Varns with it. Word has reached me that one of the ancients imprisoned in the ship's brig, Corak, has escaped and is looking for me. P.S. My impersonation of King Alamar is working well. No one suspects, not even Corak. Log entry XL83T. Since the Varn I now occupy is not one of the ones that will land on Terra, I have decided to abuse it. Today, in my role as King Alamar, I ordered my men to release the monsters in my dungeon upon the land, and begin cutting down the trees in a nearby forest. I have also issued a decree doubling taxes on my peasants. I will have to go easy though. There are still a few years left until Kron arrives at Terra, and I want my fun to last. Log computer, cyclic redundancy check failure. 1440, log entries unreadable. Resuming. Log entry XL94P. My cover is ruined. Some of the natives of Varn arrived in my court today and revealed to all that I am an imposter. I banished them to my control maze to prevent a fight, but I am sure they will cut my wire connection to this Varn soon. I shall have to flee to Kron. So that was basically a description of Might Magic 1, The Secret of the Inner Sanctum. Log entry XL94Q. I have arrived in Kron, but in my haste the Kron security system discovered my whereabouts. I'll be unable to make log entries for a while. Log entry XL99D. Back on the wire at last. The security system is mine to control now, along with the rest of Kron. Kron is moving within Schwartz-Heinrich matter transport range, as I dictate this entry. I have placed a copy of my personality in the computer to direct the transfer of Terra's Varns to the surface of Terra, and then pilot Kron into the sun. I have also had the opportunity to ambush Corak and separate his memory module from his body. I left the module where I overcame him and locked his body in a cave miles away. I'm sure I'll never see him again. So adieu, wretched Kron. Terra awaits me. Log entry XL99E. At last! I have returned to Terra! It is good to be back on the Terran wire. There is much work to be done supervising the implantation of the Varns onto Terra. Now that I'm back, there are going to be some changes around here. Log entry XL9CC. Kron has not thrown itself into the sun, and I fear that it has no plans to do so in the near future. My nav computers indicate that it is on course to exit the system in 3 months. None the worse for my sabotage. My revenge on the ancients will have to wait. So that was basically a description of Might Magic 2, Gates to Another World. And on to the description of Might Magic 3, Isles of Terra, from the Perspectives of Sheltem. Log entry XL9CD. More bad news. My security systems tell me that Corak has somehow put his head back on his shoulders and is even now stalking me. He must not be allowed to interfere with my management of Terra. Log computer, block erased and unrecoverable. Log entry XLDAD. My security systems tell me that Corak has gained entry to my ship and has made several attempts to disconnect me from the wire. Those failed, of course, but he approaches. Natives of Terra have also entered the ship and are working their way towards me. Looks like I will have to physically defend myself. Log entry XLDAY. I have been forced to flee Terra. Rage boils within me. Log entry XLDAX. Many days have passed since I fled Terra and Corak. He is in an escape pod like mine and he follows closely. The natives forced the ship to lift off Terra's surface and pursue. They will pay for that foolish decision. Log entry XLDBA. The XEEN project looms ahead. All 3 ships will crash into it tomorrow. My stasis generator will protect me and my ship from the impact. Mostly. May the gods smile upon me. Log entry XLDBB. Impact complete. Stasis passed in the blink of an eye. My sensors indicate that the main ship passed through the atmosphere of the other side of the world and burned up, but not before safely beaming the Terran natives to the surface. Corak's escape pod landed in lava and is stuck there. How sad. Log entry XLDBC. I must leave this escape pod to conquer XEEN and find a way to return to Terra. Some time may pass before my next log entry. Welp. The other ship actually did not go to the other side of Terra and beam the natives successfully. I think that was a sensor glitch, as they say. We'll learn what has become of those people sometime later. Main console. The computer seems to be malfunctioning. Well. So that was some very interesting information. So this is what Sheltem was thinking and was doing throughout the series. This is by far one of the most interesting information dumps in the entire first part of the game. Well, the series, I would say, actually. Oh, gamma gauge. So yeah, that was very interesting, and we will be learning some more of those interesting things. I really wish New World Computing had written more of the plot from the perspective of the Ancients, because that's something that you very rarely get to see. But yes, this is where I wanted to go. The second ship. Enter strange craft? Yes. It's some clouds again. Phaser control. Status indicator shows to be disarmed. For enemy. Yep, so it works the same way. So the pot is pretty much equivalent. Because both are the escape pods from Schwartz-Heinrich in Isles of Terra. Strange alien device seems to be dormant. Actually, this would be the engine section. Oh, main power console. Oh, strange energy device. Who will touch? Statistics raised by 50, but your age has also increased by 50. Can't see that I see that. But okay. That's fine. Oh, to at least 50, okay. I suppose it's worth it. At least for the intellect. Actually, removing all the extra boosting items might give us a bit more of use of these things, but I don't think it's really worth it. I think this is just more of the same. Alright. So, since the first craft was Sheltem's, this craft, which... okay, that's an antechamber, also has 6 seats. They're also empty. Is Corak still here? Strange energy field surrounds a figure suspended within it. He is! Huh, okay. Main console. A message on the screen reads, to deactivate the stasis field, decipher the following message. The ancient's goal is to boldly go. Well, I guess the point is... yeah, 15. 15 is O. 14 is N. So I guess you could just map the numbers to the letters. But since I know Star Trek, I get free pass again. To boldly go where no man has gone before. Correct. Stasis field deactivated. Life form released and fully functional. Corak.
Thank you for deactivating the stasis chamber. If you hadn't done it, I would have been trapped there forever. Much has happened since I crashed on Darkside. It appears that my old nemesis Sheltem escaped from his stasis chamber long before I, and has done much evil in this time. My instruments show that XEEN has begun to drift out of its orbit, indicating that Sheltem has full control of XEEN. I have orders to stop Sheltem's galactic rampage, but I am unable to fulfill them. If I were to leave the safety of this ship, Sheltem would surely detect me with his newfound powers and slowly drain the strength from my body. I would never reach him. If you had some means of transporting me past his defenses, I would have a good chance of defeating him in battle. Without that, I cannot prevail against him.
Well...
I cannot leave the safety of this ship without some means of hiding from Sheltem's defenses.
Looks like it's the same idea as the Dragon Pharaoh who cannot leave his pyramid. Well, that's unfortunate. Scanning console. A message on the screen reads, XEEN, Xylonite Experimental Expansion Nacelle. Starseed Project, mean orbit 1.1 astronomical units. Surface gravity 0.88. Mean surface temperature 72. Is that Celsius or Fahrenheit or Kelvin? Pretty sure it's not Kelvin. Log computer. A message on the screen reads, Log entry 1. All internal systems operational. All ship systems operational. Setting course for Terra project. Mission objective: deactivate and retrieve damaged Sheltem unit. Return to base. Log entry 2. Orbit established around Terra. Utilizing Schwartz-Heinrich matter transfer device to accomplish planetfall. Log entry 3. Subject deactivated and retrieved. Returning to base. Log entry 4. Mission objective delayed indefinitely. Sheltem unit escaped. Location: Varn 4, Kron vehicle. 3.8 years have passed since last log entry, time spent in stasis in ship's brig. Activating full Corak personality module to facilitate heuristic problem solving. Will begin search for Sheltem unit immediately. Log entry 5. My search for Sheltem has borne little fruit to date. His reasons for imprisoning me in the ship's brig are unclear, his next action unpredictable. I wander the Varn in hopes of finding some clue as to his whereabouts, but nothing has turned up yet. Kron's wire shows no record of travel between Varns or to Kron itself. Log entry 6. I remain unable to locate Sheltem. The wire shows signs of his tampering, but he has been careful to cover his tracks and hide his location. The cunning he displays must be a result of heuristic improvements to his mind. I am facing an advanced artificial intelligence uninhibited by mental blocks or behavior restraints, and driven by a will to survive. Sheltem may also be following some internal directive he believes he has. Log entry 7. Varn 6 launched himself into the sun today on Sheltem's command. 100,000 lives snuffed out in a matter of minutes. The magnitude of his crime is overwhelming, and the fact that I was unable to stop him lends my mission a sense of desperation and urgency that it lacked before. Where Sheltem was merely a nuisance before the disaster, he is now a terrible menace that must be stopped at any cost. I must find him. Log entry 8. News has reached me that Sheltem was posing as King Alamar, but has fled his usurped throne. I should have suspected. Alamar's subjects were saying that he has acted strangely for about 4 years, but it never occurred to me to question why. The wire reports that he has lost his connection in the Varn, but has fled to Kron. I will see him there. Log entry 9. Sheltem is nowhere to be found. The wire reports several attempts by Sheltem to subvert the system and regain access, but he has been unsuccessful up to now. Log entry 10. Sheltem has escaped Kron and returned to Terra. He ambushed and defeated me in combat, separating my memory core from my body and placing it in stasis in a cave. Fortunately, some natives of the Kron vehicle rescued me from my plight and saved Kron from Sheltem's plan to pilot it into the sun. The Varns that were to be released on Terra have done so on schedule, revealing that Sheltem still follows one of the directives. I will use the matter transfer device to achieve planetfall once again on Terra. With Sheltem gone at last, Kron will be permitted to continue its star-seeding mission uninterrupted from here on. Log entry 11. I have arrived on Terra once again, and the landscape is a bit different from my last visit. 4 Varns descended on the planet while I was in stasis, and Sheltem is busy assimilating the people, plants, and animals into the existing biosphere. His process seems flawed, however. I can't help but detect a faint callousness toward his people. The adaptive process is unnecessarily harsh, the timetable needlessly swift. Another character flaw to add to the list of problems that must be fixed with the Sheltem unit, if it can be fixed at all. Log entry 12. After much time and effort, I have determined that Sheltem resides in the original seedship that first settled on Terra. The ship is entirely underwater, but several matter transfer sites exist on the surface of the planet disguised as pyramids. The pyramids have denied me access, of course, but that problem can be solved through the wire. I feel confident that I will have Sheltem in custody soon. Log entry 13. With the help of the wire, I have infiltrated the starship. Sheltem has activated all of the ship's defenses, sparing no effort to eliminate me. Despite my best efforts, I have been unable to cut Sheltem from the wire or order him off. I'll have to physically defeat him. Log entry 14. I was unable to capture Sheltem, and he escaped once again. He is in an escape pod heading for the XEEN project. I am in one as well, seconds behind him, yet unable to accelerate to catch him. The pod has no weapons. Apparently, natives of Terra were right behind me and have activated the seed ship's engines and launched. They are in close pursuit. The seed ship's engines? What? That can't be right. The seed ship itself is way underwater and it didn't actually fly. It was the pod that flew out. It was the same escape pod like with Corak and Sheltem. That's probably an inaccuracy. Anyway, they are in close pursuit. Log entry 15. XEEN approaches. I will have to engage this ship's stasis field in order to survive the impact. Since I will be right behind Sheltem, I stand a good chance of capturing him after impact. Nav computers predict that the Terrans will not impact the project, but will instead burn up in the atmosphere. I have instructed them on the use of the matter transfer device aboard their seed ship so that they may escape its destruction. I am going into stasis now. May the gods smile upon me. And of course he was in stasis ever since. Yeah, so the natives of Terra, they did not burn into the atmosphere and they didn't teleport on the planet either. So I guess that was pretty much retconned, I suppose. But yes, it is interesting how every single planet has something called the Wire, which the agents of the Ancients have access to and can do all sorts of interesting things with it. Alright, so that was that. And given that it's already over 30 minutes, I guess I will stop here, and next time we will go tell what we've learned to the Dragon Pharaoh. See y'all then. Later.